And Habakkuk says something interesting. He says that the just shall live by faith. Interesting. It means that the people of God, righteous people, has to live differently. You can't live by what you see other people doing. You can't measure your life by the things that you see them carrying out. No, God's people have to live by something that's different. The difference that God people must live by is something called faith. Now, in Hebrews, we learned that faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So righteous people then, just people then, have to live by things that are invisible. You don't hear me in this place. The people of God have to live by those things that are not visible but will become evident. They have another way of living. They have another standard that they must reach. They have something different than the rest of the world. The rest of the world want to live by money, want to live by cars, want to live by houses, want to live by material things, want to live by what they got in their pockets, want to live by what we have laying around in the house. But God's people have to live differently. They have to live by things that you don't normally see. We got to live with the expectation that the Spirit of God will make a way when it doesn't seem possible that we can still go forward. We got to live expecting God to step in and guide our thoughts and our mindset in such a fashion that we can be a benefit to other people, even though it doesn't seem like it would be the best for us. We got to live by things that we can't see. We got to live with an understanding that the heavenly host is worshiping and cheering God, and that God has given us the victory. We got to live with the understanding that Christ died and that the world has been able to be reconnected to God because of his death. We have to live by faith in God. Our faith must have an object. The object must be Jesus Christ. We have to live by what you can't see, by what's not obvious. We have to live by the Spirit of God that allows you to overcome when folks say this will crush them. They should never get up from this. But the very Spirit of God lifts us up, picks us up, and moves us forward. Habakkuk gives you 5 woes, 5 warnings in his message. He says, woe unto him that increases that which is not his, by that which is not his. Isn't that amazing? He reminds you, and he shouldn't have to, but he reminds people that they shouldn't take what don't belong to them just for the sake of adding to their pockets. Just for the sake of getting a little bit more. He warns them that you shouldn't do this. And he asks a question, how long? It's the mindset that God is giving you the opportunity to make a change. How long are you going to still do the same thing that you know you have no business doing? How long are you going to try to get gain or try to prosper on the backs of somebody else with something that don't belong to you in the first place? I like the comment where he says that for those who ladeth themselves with clay. That's a old Hebrew concept, meaning those who cover themselves with material things. How long do you think material things are going to resolve the problems that you have that are spiritual? Woe unto you who seek material gain for a spiritual issue. There is a problem when you can't get your mind around spiritual things and you think that material things is going to help you out. You know, money is not the cure-all for your problems. If it was, you would never find a person who was rich who would be depressed. Unfortunately, or fortunately, the world has shown us that there are tons of filthy rich people who are seriously depressed. When you have a spiritual problem, I don't care how much money you throw at it, it's not going to get resolved unless it is resolved by a spiritual methodology. Righteous folks, just people, must live by faith. You must live by those things that are not obviously seen. It starts with the mindset or the concept that God truly exists. You'd be surprised how many people have knowledge about God but don't really believe in Him. Even tout how wonderful and glorious God is, but have no faith, no confidence, no belief in God. Because if they did, they would understand the concept of how they should live. See, righteous folks are not dependent upon themselves or material things as the center of their resources. Their resource is a spiritual one, and they're dependent upon God Himself as their resource to give them continual life. And I'm not talking life as in its physical sense, but life in its spiritual sense, where you are consistently and continually renewed with God, where your mindset is different, where your approach to this world is different, where your views are different, but they're different in such a way that it's a benefit not just to yourself, but to mankind. God has put you in this place so that you will honor God by honoring man. Not putting them up on a pedestal, but making them better creatures.